Hello, everyone. I think it's showing me drinking my water. Maybe not. Okay, I'm going to get out of YouTube and find Mary back on Zoom. Hello, Mary. How are you today?
I'm excited to be here, Kasie. It's a beautiful day here in Virginia, and it's my day off. I take 2 days off a week from teaching VIP kids, so I got to sleep in this morning. So that was
Oh,
wonderful. Yeah.
so jealous. Actually, I slept an extra hour.
Do you take days off, Kasie? Do you have specific?
No, I haven't taken, well, I took a day off. I took a couple of days off when I met my husband for his job in Hawaii.
Nice.
But I teach 7 days a week. So,
Yeah, I used to do
well,
that, and I just found out I burnt out too quickly. So this has been
yeah.
so nice, and it helps me do the other things I want to do too.
Mhm.
So
Well, right now I've accepted so many starlights that I'm pretty much at least have one per day until August something. So,
wow, that's awesome.
so hey, two in the chat here. Good morning, Marianne. Marianne said hello.
Hi, Marianne.
And Lyle's here. Hey, Lyle. And Deborah and James. Lyle, I don't think I've seen you in a chat before. I know you've commented on some of my videos. I think Lyle likes technology. He seems to to listen in on technology things.
Well,
So
this is going to be challenging because I don't know anything
yeah.
about technology.
This is a teacher interview today. So all right. Well, thanks for coming, everyone. Let's see. Well, let's get started. Mary, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, so I have been with VIPKid for the past 3 years almost. I've signed my 6th contract.
Right.
And prior to that, I'm 60 years old, so I have done a lot of things in my life. Early on, I started out in early childhood education and really enjoyed working with the little kids. And that was through a certificate program at community college. So decided to go back to university to complete my bachelor's degree and thought I'd become a classroom teacher. And to help me fund my, studies, my university degree, I was doing a number of other jobs. I worked as a teacher's assistant in the school system. I worked as a house mother in a drug and alcohol recovery home. And so I worked the night shift. I worked from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., would get up, go to school, and then, work in the classroom and just find ways to fit it all together.
Right.
And once I was in university for my Bachelor of Education degree, I realized, you know what? I'm not enjoying this nearly as much as the one-on-one when I was working, as a teacher's assistant or working in the drug and alcohol facility.
Mm-hmm.
And because I had a degree in psychology, I went on to work in a shelter for battered women and children as a counselor.
Wow.
And that really sparked my deepest desire of helping people resolve inner issues and just better their lives in some way or another.
Mm-hmm.
So then after that, I went and did a master's degree in psychology, opened up a private counseling practice. From there, once my son was born, I have one son who's now 21. He
Oh.
so as he was growing, it became apparent that it was just a really good idea to homeschool him.
Mm-hmm.
And as we were homeschooling him, I realized, you know what? I can't continue my counseling practice working with people with really deep emotional issues who were abused as children or drug and alcohol related, because they need me to be there regardless. And I wanted to homeschool Gabriel and parent him in a way that, hey, I'm taking the day off tomorrow or I'm gone for the week or whatever. And I just couldn't in my heart hold deep emotional space for people who are dependent on me and take
Yeah.
that time off at will. So it's like, okay, I need to make a change here. So at that
Mm-hmm.
point, my counseling became more working with parenting and relationship skills, more of a coaching rather than a deep inner work.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then once Gabriel got to be about 9, I was just off with him all over the place. And I was like, done. I am just going to focus on homeschooling right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then about 3 years ago, when he was fledgling, I thought, okay, back to work, but I want to do something that's really fun. And I found VIPKid, and it was just the perfect fit for me. And I do a number of other things now as well, but that continues to be my number one passion, is teaching the kids online.
Mm-hmm. It is fun.
Yeah.
I love it. I had great classes this morning. How were your, oh, you didn't have classes this morning.
I didn't. No,
Wow.
which is so nice.
Right?
I recommend it. Take a day off.
Let us know in the chat, how did your classes go this morning? And is anybody getting short notices? Because last night and tonight, every time I open up a slot, it's been getting a trial in it. Although both didn't show last night, but short notice trial is what, $6 if they don't show. So, and I was on my computer working, so
That's
it worked
awesome.
for me. Hey, Brick Girl said hello, Kasie and Mary.
Hello.
Happy Farms. Danny said Mary, yay. Meredith is here. Great. And Marianne said awesome career path, Mary.
Thank you, Marianne. Yeah, it is. It's been really, really fun evolving and continuing to evolve. Like, I continue to add new things that just really draw on my skills. Like, I think having been a counselor really helps me relate to the parents. And I think also homeschooling my son helps me really adapt the lessons for my students. Like, I'm jumping here. Do you want me
you're
to?
perfect.
Okay.
I'd rather it be a conversation anyway.
Okay,
it's
good.
hard for me to keep it that way if I'm not like,
yeah.
Let me adjust this a little bit. Okay.
So when I homeschooled Gabriel,
Mm-hmm.
I totally used an unschooling approach. I never used a curriculum. I never sat down and said, it's time to learn.
Okay.
That's just not who Gabriel is or who I was as a teacher. So whatever he was fascinated by, I just provided resources and helped him thrive with that. So for instance, he really got into stars at one time. So instead of thinking, how am I going to teach measurement of angles and have that be kind of a dry, boring lesson? He started with a simple telescope, and soon he said, after about 8 weeks, he said, I'm ready to upgrade. And I said, what do you want to upgrade to? And he goes, the Hubble. It's like, okay, well, that's not going to happen. But we got him a really good telescope, which allowed him to find deep space objects.
Oh, neat.
So those are ones that you cannot see with the naked eye. So how do you have to find them? You find the visible object, measure X number of degrees, and search deep into space to see if you can find it. So he was constantly measuring angles and all that kind of stuff.
That's awesome.
That became math. He was one that was just really project based. If he was interested in something, he went deep into it. And if he wasn't, like, forget it.
Yes.
So that really helps me adapt those lessons for my VIPKid students, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes the student is behind where the lesson objectives indicate they should be, and sometimes they're far ahead. And it's just easy for me to realize it's not about the lesson on the page, it's about the student. So how can I help this student take the next step, and adapt that lesson? And I think that's just come naturally to me given how I taught Gabriel. And also, I don't know, I think my counseling background helps with that too.
Good. Love it. So I know Mary knows this because she's been on my channel before, but for those of you that don't, over here is your live chat. So when you're typing, I can see it moving. So that's why I keep looking over to this way. And if I'm looking down, I have Mary's questions. So yes, it's very busy over here. So James said he got his first trial on Saturday and they signed up. Congrats.
Awesome, James. It's always so much fun when you finally realize, oh, they signed up. I'm doing something right. Yeah.
Right. I really thought I had one the other day. And then I saw they signed up under another teacher because then they requested a class for me. So I can see that they've had 2 trial lessons. I was like, oh man.
But the parent will still remember you, just because they didn't sign up after you. You may very well find them in your classroom. I have found that. It's like, so.
It's interesting. Let's see. Marianne said she had a short notice this morning. Meredith had 1 class this morning. Oh yeah, Marianne, it was supposed to be your day off. And Marianne said, yes, unschooling is quite popular. Yeah. Isn't isn't that sort of Montessori? Isn't that like at the kids' pace and what they're interested in? Isn't that kind of along the same?
It
Because I
is.
guess with unschooling, you can, as a homeschooling parent, you can pretty much go anywhere, do anything.
I'm going to show you a project that Gabriel did when he was 5. So we lived in Charlottesville, Virginia, and we were in walking distance to the downtown mall. There's a wonderful pedestrian mall, and we would just do our walk. And on that walk, my husband Daniel and I, we would pick up a magazine and sit down on a bench and read it, and Gabriel would pick up something and pretend to read it. And he came home one day and he said, "Why are there no magazines for kids?" And I said, "That's a good question." He said, "What should we do about it?" And I said, "Well, what do you think we should do about it?" He said, "Make one." I said, "Okay, what should we call it?" Kidville. I thought, that's brilliant. So we did. So every month we published a little Kidville.
Oh, cute.
And he would dictate the stories to me, and it would be about our adventures during the week, during the month. So, and everything he dictated was, the title was like apple picking alive, feeding the ducks alive. Everything he wanted to title had to have the alive word in it. And what was really neat, so he would help write the story and I would type it up. We would lay it out together, and we made 150 copies.
Wow.
And that 150 copies that he'd help staple together. We put a little stand outside of our driveway and people would pick it up, but we would bundle them. So this is where everything comes in. So he's learning his language arts. We're bundling them into groups of 6 and tying a knot on it. We got one of those trolleys, so there's like stacks of piles of 6, and we would drop it off at different restaurants and locations downtown. Then sometime in a week's time, we would go do inventory. So you dropped off 6 here. How many are left? There are 2 left. Okay, how many were used? 4. So he's doing his math and making sure at the end of the month, were there any left? Should we print more? Should we print less? So he's learning his math, his language, art skills, and he doesn't know that he's being taught anything because all he's doing is playing with me. You know,
making this magazine he thought of.
Yeah, he's making his magazine, you know, so he really learned that, you know, the magazines before that, we would collect magazines on the downtown mall, and he had foam letters. At 2.5, he was throwing the foam letters everywhere and then finding them and spelling out the titles of the magazine. And he would do this for like 4 hours a day, you know, just like, that's it. And then right before his 4th birthday, he picked up a book and started reading it.
Oh, wow.
And it was like, "Did you memorize that?" And I said, "Can you turn to page 22? And he's reading it. It's a chapter book. I didn't realize he could read, so I had to do nothing at all to teach him how to read. He just did.
Well, you did a lot. You just...
Yes, but not in a traditional, that's what I mean by unschooling. I'm just following his passion and helping him do what he wants and letting that happen. Like, he has a passion for the outdoors. So we went, we live near Shenandoah National Park, so we go into the park a lot, and we spend a lot of time with black bears. Like, one of his, he had a 3-year bear study in the park that we just did informally. It wasn't like through the park or anything, but we had a 3-mile strip where we monitored all the bears in that 3 miles and whatever we could walk on either side. And one of the years, we literally, from March to November, we would go camping for 3 days. I'd come home for food for 2 days. We'd go back out, and it was literally the whole time we spent out there. So when he was 10, he wrote his first book about black bears. This was a true story about black bears. And so he did everything with that. He wrote the book. He helped lay it out. He did book readings at universities. He was on a talk show. He sold over 13,000 copies of it. And when he was 16, he wrote his second book. Again, not because we said, you need to learn how to write, but because he was passionate about it. So that's what he did. And I think that's the cool thing about outschooling. It's none of this was directed by me. It was all his idea and then me helping him do it.
Great. Maybe we should put the links to his books down there.
Yeah, I can
That
send
would be
them to
great.
you.
Yeah, forward them to me and we'll put it at the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so cool, isn't it? Kidville, she said it's clever.
Especially since one of the main magazines in Charlottesville was Seaville, so it would like Charlottesville, Seaville. So he just said Kidville. So
Oh, super cool. Let's see. So with VIPKid, you said you're on your 6th contract. Are you going to get the hoodie?
yeah, although the hoodies are delayed, right?
Oh,
They don't
that's
have,
right.
because of COVID, they don't have hoodies for anyone just
Yeah.
yet, but apparently.
Good. I think I would get it too. So, so what does your schedule look like? I know you had this morning off.
So I have Thursday, Fridays off, except one special student Friday nights. So it's like I can't say no to her because she can't take classes any other time.
Right.
So generally I'm on East Coast time, so I teach 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. And if I wanted to, I could have so many more students, but I just don't want to open up more slots than that. I'm too old. I need to sleep.
Wow, the whole screen just went black just now, so I think you guys could still see me, but that was interesting. I could hear you fine, but I couldn't see anything. So hopefully that doesn't. Oh, you can see my face all confused. Sorry, guys, I couldn't see you and didn't know what was going on. So, sorry. So, oh yeah, you have what'd you say? You teach her once. Isn't there always that one student? I have one that keeps booking me at 3 in the morning, and then I have like 3 open slots.
Oh, I wouldn't do it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
I have limit. I mean, right now I have one of my favorite students requesting a 5 a.m. slot. And it's like, I'm sorry. I used to.
Kind, so, but I just can't say no.
And I used to say yes to everything. And I found that as soon as I did, and it's like, well, I've opened that slot. I might as well open this one. And soon I'm just doing too much. So
yes,
I needed to not do that. Yeah.
So what are your favorite props, rewards, and level?
Okay. Oh, what I love about VIPKid is that, I'm certified 1 through 7 and every single supplementary that you can possibly certify for. And I love that I can teach a variety. I think that if I was just narrowed down to like just a couple of levels, it would get really repetitive and not quite as interesting, where, now it seems like right now I have a lot of level 2s and a lot of level 5, 6s. And because that's just, well, and level 3s, because I have a bunch of level 2s that I started with in level 1 that are moving into level 3 very soon. So they're on that cusp.
Well, you like level 3 though.
I do. I love.
Well, you don't mind. Yeah, I remember talking to you about that.
Yeah, I really like level 3. I like, the dreaded birds and mammals unit. I love that unit. I think it's so much fun. But
I
then,
like it too, but I love science. So.
Yeah, when my son was 11, he's an avid birder. He still is, but we started a young birders club in Virginia, and so that just got me really familiar with how to teach and make that topic exciting. Okay. So, I love it. So, yeah, I don't know if I have a favorite one. I love the conversational ability at the older levels and the playfulness of the younger ones.
And even the supplementary classes, like getting them thrown in there, just keeping things fresh and new, that's fun. I just started the health and physical education classes, and I'm really enjoying those.
Oh, neat. So many of my regulars are taking regular classes, and over the summer they'll start taking some of the supplementaries, but like there literally is just no room in my schedule to get somebody new. So that's the hard thing about being popular with your regulars is you may not get the fun classes to teach, even though I'm certified for them.
This will be my first summer. I haven't gone full summer yet. So yeah, we'll see. It'd be interesting. Oh, you just said, were you on the level 3 collaboration?
No, I don't think I was there. No.
You were on the making lessons fun though, right? That's how.
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and you were asking about props, right? Is that what you were asking about? My favorite props? Gosh, You know, what I have to say, if I only could pick one, just because the kids love it, is like having Dino, Meg, and Mike. But I almost don't consider them props because they're so essential to the classroom. You know, it's like they're just there. And you know, I have Dino in all forms, you know, the pig and the dog, the panda, like all of that.
Oh,
but
see, you know he's got a hood on. I didn't know that until somebody in our group taught me.
You know, what I love too, you know, depending on what you have, is, you know, for the face unit, how many eyes does Dino have? How many does he have? Like, so counting, you know, using colors, it's fun. I have so many rewards that I love. My go-to reward is the ice cream scoops. You know, just because I can use this for any level. It's great for learning colors. It's great for counting, and for the older kids, who doesn't love ice cream, right?
Yeah.
So I use it for that. If I had to pick a puppet, this is my very, very favorite puppet. This dragon has a stomach, so it can eat. And it goes in, and his stomach can get bigger. He can eat the ice cream. You know, it is so much fun that he can actually eat, that the kids love this one. So if I had to pick only one puppet, which of course I haven't only picked one puppet, but that would be.
I think I need that puppet. I need one with a stomach.
I have an Amazon affiliate link for that if you want.
Oh, really?
And then this is
we can't use our own affiliate links. We need to use each other's.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, and this is my other puppet that I really, really love, because he's just silly, and he can be shy, and he can be grouchy. He can have so many feelings that I really like this one. And then I love doing magic in my classroom. So this is a magic bag. So it's empty, you know, and you know, okay, so it's empty, and then you can put anything in it. So what does a cub grow up to be? You put it in. Abracadabra. Whoops. A lion. It grew up to be a lion, you know, or it can be colors, you know, the colors can, and you can teach color blending. You can put in the yellow and blue and pull out a green ball. It's just one of those magic tricks. And then, you know, if you're talking about colors, you know, how do colors change? What color is it? Blue and red. What color is it? Oh, it's green and yellow. You know, so so just adding those kind of fun props. Yeah. And then anything food. I have every single piece of food, from sushi to fruit to meat. And like, if you saw my props, you would go like, oh my God. That's just, I don't do digital rewards. I don't do anything digital, but I have every, well, let me show you.
I use the Google Slide as 2D props instead of flashcards. Okay. But my rewards are all.
So I have one of these bins for every level and every unit. Okay, so I have like 9 rolling carts of 10 drawers each.
I was going to show you what they look like, but I don't know if you guys should see. There you go. Don't look at my mess.
Yeah, so I have 9 of those, so that they're all labeled with units. So I have a unit to teach. I'll show you what I do. So I have, for every class I've taught, this is my preparation. So I just write the level unit, any questions I might have, any keywords, what props I need. I just pull that card because I've taught everything multiple times. And I keep those lessons in this box. Okay. And this box has a lid. And then this lid has a slot on the top of the lid. Whoops, got to face it the other way. Has a slot at the top. So now there it is, where I can just look at it during class. So it just stands to my side. And that has been like such a game changer for just organization. It takes 2 minutes to prep, because I just pull the card, pull the drawer, done.
Right. Wow, that's great. Hi, who is saying hi to? Oh, hey, Cindy Bennett. Thanks for coming. Cindy said, hi, guys.
Hi, Cindy.
Marianne said, we are the same, Mary. I have a lot of props. Me too. Mostly because I just went in my garage and took from all my kindergarten stuff. Okay, well, you talked about the homeschooling and unschooling. I love it. And being a counselor. I tell you, I admire you for that. I started going through schooling for like psychology classes and things, and the reading was filled with so much technical jargon that I was just like, this is not for me. And then I didn't know I wanted to be a teacher. It was, we were active duty overseas, and then I was working as a substitute and an aide. I was a para. And they were like, well, your husband's getting out of the military, so you can't be a para anymore, but you could go to school to be a teacher, and I could work as a substitute while I did classes. And that's actually how I became a teacher. I didn't even know how much I loved it until they said I couldn't do it anymore, and I cried.
Wow.
Yes. Let's see. Marianne, I checked. Oh, that's not for us. Okay. Yeah, so counseling,
So
wow.
yeah, so the counseling, I think at my core, that is probably one of my biggest gifts, is just being able to deeply listen and understand the background dynamic of what's going on for someone and helping them take that shifting of perspective so they can help heal it. Or, with the deep wounds, I was an abuse survivor growing up, so I know how to go through that deep personal healing process to really get what needs to be grieved, what needs to be let go of, and how to move out of surviving and into thriving.
Okay.
That's a journey that I have walked and that I'm really comfortable helping others do. So I bring that deeper understanding into all of my relationships, and it's just kind of who I am versus what I do. And yeah, I don't know what more to say to that, but what I have what I yes, exactly. But what I've found is, whatever we do, we bring all of our skills to that. So now that I'm teaching, I bring it to that. But when I'm relating to the parents, and I've said to you, I have just a really high feedback rating. I have about a 60%, depending on the month. Right now it's about 58 because it's a little lower. Some months it's about 75. So it really varies. But it's because the most important thing I think I do is help the parents understand how to relate to their children a little bit differently. And I am offering advice in feedback if they ask for it. So first of all, I'm praising the parent for doing a good job. Anytime I see them interacting lovingly, I'll comment on that. And the parents have grown to trust me and ask me for advice. So for instance, I teach a set of twins, and these are brilliant kids. They just turned, well, they're 7. They're 7.5 now, but one is high level 4 and the other is high level 5. And, they're brilliant kids. And along with whatever they do at school, which is already a lot, they take KET classes, they take other English classes, they take dance and music and sports, and like they're trying to get all of these accomplishments on their resume, because that's the way it is in China in order to better themselves, right?
What was the first thing you said? Cat?
KET, K-E-T, it's another English language learning system that they take. So there's so much pressure on these kids. And she said, can you help me? Stephen just doesn't want to do his homework, and he's not doing his homework. And I said, Stephen is a really smart boy. He is doing so well in school that what he's seeking is some balance in his life. So by not doing his homework, he is unconsciously trying to find some balance, because as a child, he shouldn't be under this much stress. But I realize in your society that he is. So what if you told him that one day a week for X number of hours, he doesn't have to do homework, he can do whatever he wants. And so when he can have control over that period of time, then he will focus better on the times that you're asking him to focus. And she said that worked brilliantly. And so, and that's the kind of stuff that I do with my parents, is just helping them realize, their students aren't bad for not doing everything that they're supposed to be doing.
Right.
It's their kids, and in this society, they wouldn't have nearly the same expectations.
Mhm.
Or if the parents, slapping the hands or like saying, pay attention, I'll just say, it's okay. It's okay that they're making mistakes, because that's how we learn. And just, I've had a number of different parents say, you're not only teaching my child how to learn English, you're teaching me how to be a better parent. And to me, that is so rewarding.
Right.
So I think that's where that human background, that counseling background, just marries in with the teacher, so that I'm really teaching both of them.
Good. I have this one little guy, he's 5, and him and mom, like, she's just giving him more freedom lately, but she normally sits right on the side of him, and they get excited, and he hugs her, and oh, he loves his mama. He's
That's
got these big
awesome.
old cheeks. Oh, I love
Adorable. Yeah.
Yes, I love their interactions. Meredith wants to know, where did you get the box? I think with the
Oh,
slot.
Amazon. So again, I will, you know what? I keep saying this, but I'm going to do a prop video right after this, since I've got everything close by, and I'll post it on my YouTube channel today. Okay. And I'll link the box and the puppets and all of that, so that you can find it. But I think it's sold as a recipe box, but.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense, because the thing on top. I was wondering, like, did you put that on there, or?
No, it just is the way the lid is made, and it's so handy just having it just in view. If I just look this way, to just,
Good.
give me little cues.
Let's see. Marianne said the best counselors are the ones who have experienced it, whatever the trauma may be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love to listen and try to help people, but my downfall is I want to help them right away, right now, and start it. You know what I mean? So I don't always listen to everything, because I just want to start and help. And
And sometimes, and I'm not saying this is true for you, Kasie, but when we just want to help, it's maybe our discomfort with their suffering, right? Where, so it's getting comfortable with my own suffering and knowing that I got through it,
right,
that I can be comfortable with someone else's and meet them where they're at, because they can't hurry through it. They have to live and grow through it, right? So when they live and grow through it, they can truly get to the other side. Think about holding a baby. Okay, a baby is screaming and crying. And if what you're doing is, it's okay, you're anxious, they get more anxious, they get more upset, right? Or if you're holding them and saying, it's okay, I hear that you're upset. I'm here. I'm going to hold you while you're upset, and you're safe. They feel you're calm. They feel like you're okay with it. They're not picking up your anxiety, and they relax. And it's just the same thing for us, whatever age we're at, is just letting the feeling be.
Back in the day, there was a lady on an airplane. She was crying. The baby was crying. Now I don't know if, people would do it, but I was like, can I just help? I'll just hold the baby right near you, give you a minute. And he stopped crying. And I'm like, you guys are okay. But she was so worried about bothering everybody around her.
Yeah. Oh, it's hard on a plane.
Got to have a baby fix. And
yeah, isn't that awesome?
Sit right near you. Just let me hold your baby.
I'd want to do that regardless of if they were upset. Just give me your baby.
Baby fix. My oldest is 21 too, so I know. Oh, let's see. I could use your help, Mary. I have that one kid. The one kid is my own, not the Chinese. Well, later.
Yeah.
Oh, James said I teach ket and pet. Interesting. That's right, James. I remember you talking to me about it now. For some reason in my head, it was going to be some kind of martial arts.
Well, maybe with words.
Karate, yes, I've seen so many sticks to the head. Pinched cheeks.
Yeah, I know, it's sad.
Luckily, I've only seen it once, and I was like, oh, like it just shocked me, and they never did it again. But I mean, I wasn't trying to be rude. It just was like, oh, and it wasn't. This one was not. This was just like, pay attention. Like, I was like, oh. Great advice from the Brit girls. And James said, I do something close to Mary. I take notes and refer them when I teach the same class, except I refer to them. Except I run two monitors side by side so I can look at it, but still let them think I'm looking at them.
Neat.
I haven't gotten into the two monitor thing yet.
I don't know if I'm tech savvy enough to figure out how to do that.
I think I'm heading that way though. All of you.
When you figure it out, can you tell me how you did it?
Yeah, I'll make a
It's like,
video.
oh my gosh, two monitors. I'm trying to figure out how to make sure I have one in front of me.
I know.
I have a really funny story to tell that is totally unrelated, but it is tech related.
Okay.
So my husband started a business in 1995. And at that time, the internet was just evolving. And we decided we had $1,000 budget to market his business. And it's his business, but I consult with him and help him brainstorm. And he said, what do you think we should do with the $1,000? How are we going to advertise this? I don't care what else you do, but you're creating a website. And he said, website, that's a passing fad. It's the only thing that has worked, whatever number of years this is later, 25 years later. And, the website, that's the only thing we use now for advertising.
Wow.
So funny.
Not interesting though.
Yeah.
Things of it. Crazy. You got me thinking about dates, and now 96 was a really good year for me. Should I not say? I graduated high school, got married.
Wow.
The military. Yeah, that was all in
96. Wow.
You got me reminiscing. Let's see. Oh, so you just started a little side hustle?
I actually have just started two. I forgot to mention the other one, but yeah, I'm really excited.
Yes.
As I mentioned, my husband has a business, and a lot of his business is traveling overseas and teaching in different countries. And of course, that's like completely stopped now. So and I love my teaching, and I'm teaching with VIPKid and have started with Outschool, and that's getting established, but not big yet. And I wanted to find some other things I could do to just build some stronger financial pillars for us that I could still work at home, have flexibility, all that good stuff, right? And so I've picked up two side gigs that aren't time dependent. So it's not like I have to show up right now to teach this class. I can do it on and off through the day, right? So one is Pampered Chef. I love cooking, and I think on Outschool I'm going to teach some cooking classes, and I just thought I can teach adults about cool tools and just have fun and see what happens. So there's Pampered Chef, but the other is Osborne Books, and I don't know if you're familiar with them.
The Osborne Books? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I've started with them as well, and mostly I went there because I'm reading books on Outschool and the library is closed, and I need to find a way to build my stash. So Osborne Books, I've signed on as a consultant. I actually have my launch party next week for that. So
send us links. Maybe we should set up an online Pampered Chef party, and we can add it to the bottom of this. And
I have one of those set up for next week too. So yes, I'd love to add those links. That would be great. Osborne Books right now, because I'm a new distributor, anyone who hosts a party will get double rewards. So you could earn a ton of free books if you host a party through me. So if anyone wants to do that, hey, let me know. I am happy to get you set up with that.
Tell her you found her through our channel, through our chat, so we know we're working here.
Yes, that would be great. But so if you want to host a party or become a consultant yourself, I'm happy to help. That's the other thing that I have found really fascinating, where again, my teaching and my counseling come in. I love mentoring new teachers and working with adults, right? That's just one of my skills. So I have mentored a lot of new VIPKid teachers, and I'm now mentoring Outschool teachers, but established teachers who just want to how can I sharpen up my classroom and make my classes better? I've started to work with some of them as well. And it's just, I think my ability to listen to helping them find their deeper skills, what makes you the best teacher you can be and helping them bring that into the classroom rather than, when I first started teaching, it's like, okay, I've got to be this cookie cutter teacher. Like I didn't know who I was as a teacher.
Yeah.
And now it just is just natural, right? It's just, so I like that part of my job is helping people do that as well.
Good. So how do you want people to reach out to you? Maybe you should do some coaching calls.
Yeah, I would love to do coaching calls. Like that is one of the things that, I still need to get up on my website. But so my website is thrivewithmary.com, and it is an ongoing in development website. But there you can find, find the different things that I'm doing. And I have a YouTube channel that's just so juvenile right now. Like it needs help. And
it's Thrive with Mary. You hear what amazing woman she is, and some of the content she's bringing is great. So go check it out. Can I just say one of my favorite videos?
Yes.
But I don't remember the name of it.
It's Making Faces. It was the,
if you want to see Mary's humor, go check it out. It's hilarious. I love it.
So VIPKid from time to time has these different challenges, right? And this was an Indoorables challenge, and they invited teachers to teach something. It could be a word, it could be a skill, and I had something completely different in mind for this video I was going to make. And then I turned on, and I make it on, I have a Mac, and I made it in Photo Booth, and I was going through Photo Booth and I saw these different effects, and I thought, oh, what does this do? And I noticed myself like just making faces. Okay, I'm going to teach making faces and use those special effects. What I love about these different videos that you can teach with these different challenges that VIPKid has, it then goes on your profile. The parents start to see that you're participating in different ways. So, the other day in our collaboration video, we talked about marketing. If you have a chance to participate in any of those challenges, whether it be like make a video to welcome your new student that you've taught for the first time, or the Indoorables challenge, or the teacher highlight videos that you can put your clips together, like do all of those, because they add to the profile where parents are looking and they get a glimpse of different aspects of how you are in the classroom, and it really helps.
Yeah, so go to Thrive with Mary and check out that video. It was just fun.
Thank you.
Okay, so Mary, I have an idea. So how many parties have you had? Are we still in like your first few?
Yes, we're in my launch party starts on Sunday, and for both. So the launch party for Pampered Chef on Sunday, and my Osborne Books party is next week as well.
Okay, how about I book a Pampered Chef party?
Oh, thank you.
We'll link it down here, and anytime anyone buys from it, all the free stuff will go to my son that just got married.
Oh, awesome. So you want to book a party through me?
So I will book a party.
And then you'll be the host.
Your launch. We'll do
awesome.
An party. And any free stuff, free items or whatever will go towards, he just got married and got a job. He is now a youth pastor and a worship leader.
Oh,
he just
awesome.
Moved, and they just found out that they may have COVID because the pastor had COVID and they've been working. He moved 2 weeks ago there. And so he's waiting on results for that. So right now they're stuck at home, newly married. So I'm like, I'll go on Walmart and,
So Kasie, this is totally off topic, but
yeah, I think our listeners are used to it from me.
Yeah, so good. So COVID, people struggle to know how can you best treat it, and not like I'm a health expert at all. Right. But my husband makes a line of natural products that isn't at all related to COVID. None of his products will help with that. But because of that background, he's done a lot of research in terms of things that can help with COVID. And on my website, I don't know if it's active right now, but I'll reactivate it if it isn't. I have a link of different natural ways you can help strengthen your body or treat your body if you have COVID. And I put it together for my family members, and I thought I'll just put it on my website. So you guys can go check it out. I think one of the biggest things that we have come across that's helpful is a nebulizer, which is basically taking some specific ingredients, essential oils and saline solution, and breathing it in, breathing the mist in that can help go treat the lungs.
Yeah.
So yeah, check out my website, even just for that. That's totally unrelated to anything I'm really doing, but it's just a resource.
Right. It is part of Thrive with Marion. We do have on there. That's what we're talking about today.
Exactly.
We are on topic. Yeah.
Okay, good. It's like there's so many different things that I could end up talking about, that when I was like, what is my channel? How do I market myself? There's so many different things.
Yeah.
You know, I would love to, begin mentoring homeschool students now that so many, not homeschool students, but homeschool parents.
Oh, yeah.
Like, now that so many people are stuck at home teaching their kids and
Mhm.
wondering, like, how am I supposed to do that?
Yeah.
I think that I could help parents at least with the unschooling approach. I could some with the more traditional approach as well, but if someone wants to know just how to address their kids' passion with and what that looks like and how
Love
to
it.
succeed with that. Like I said, my son never went to school, and he was hired into the National Park Service. Normally that requires a degree, but because of how I helped him develop his homeschooling experience, he got hired at 18. So there's just so many different things that homeschooling can give the students, so
Mhm.
that I don't think it can be found in a regular classroom. And I personally wished every kid could be homeschooled, because it really caters to that individual student.
Okay. I'm on the fence about that.
All right, let's talk about it.
Because I think I would love for lots of children to be homeschooled, because I think it's great. But I don't think every parent should be a homeschooling parent.
And I agree.
Sense?
Yeah, it does.
So
Not everyone's able.
I love the parents that get the kids out and, the trips and the learning elsewhere. And does that make sense?
Totally.
Yeah.
It does take, it takes the ability to understand where your child's at and find the best way to support them in learning. Right. And not every parent has the patience to have their kid home all day, every day. I mean, and it's not like Gabriel didn't have a social network, because that's some people's biggest concern. Oh my God, how will they learn to socialize? Well, he learned to socialize with every age. He has friends that are 60 years old, and he has friends that are, 5 years old, and he's able to relate to everyone. So that's not really the issue. The issue is, do you have the patience, and can you drop on the resources? And once you don't have to do it all yourself,
Right.
Homeschooling is so big in this country. And I think every state, every community has a network of homeschooling parents that often work together to provide different learning opportunities to their kids and other people's kids. So it isn't for everyone, but I think it's easier than many people think it would be.
Yeah. Or some think it's easier. They think it's going to be easy, but don't realize that you have to put some effort into finding these resources and things.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't know the last school that I just left from last year, it's been a year. They actually had the homeschooling kids could come in for art, music, PE, and any kind of specials too. So there might be those kind of programs too where you're at.
And they may be able to join in the sports teams or after school curricular activities.
Yeah, they definitely did.
Yeah.
So let's see. Great idea. So funny to know people like me teaching Pampered Chef, dabbling in lots of stuff. Let's see. We love that video. Oh, the Brick Girls love that video too. Jason said, over the years working in education, where most of my coworkers have been women, Pampered Chef and Mary Kay were my go-to Christmas time. So Pampered Chef has good quality items. Yes.
So Kasie, we'll put the links, like you said, the Pampered Chef link will be your party down below. Yeah. And if anyone wants Osborne, I'll have that linked too.
Yeah, and it'll all go towards my son and his new wife. So
awesome. So were they able to, did they have the wedding before COVID or after COVID?
I had to watch it online.
Oh,
I missed the beginning because it didn't come on my screen. I cried.
Oh my God. I mean, and how many children do you have, Kasie?
I have two. I have one boy, one girl, 21 and 19.
Wow, that is just so sad. You couldn't go to the wedding. That's heartbreaking.
So I watched it online, and then they ended up coming here because somebody at my husband's work tested positive for COVID, so we weren't traveling, even though it was in the States, and we could have driven there, but we don't want to take any chances on passing that. So we stayed here, and then once we were cleared, they came and stayed with us for 10 days or something like that.
Awesome.
So, but I did get to watch the replay. So luckily for Facebook Lives, I did get to watch it. So let's see. James said, my son has a mental condition and we are not able to send him to school, so we have to homeschool. I teach the English. His mother teaches the Vietnamese part. Oh, that's great.
That's
I
neat.
love when kids have multicultures and multi-languages. So very good. Okay, let's see. We know that you're a YouTuber already. It's called Thrive with Mary on your YouTube. And let's do our famous last three questions. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, and if you have any more questions for Mary, put them in all caps in the chat. And I think that's it as far as that. Oh, hey, Teacher Kelly. Kelly's here too.
Hi, Kelly.
So what do you think are qualities of a good teacher?
I think adaptability, first being able to relate, establishing that rapport is super important, because if you can't connect to that child, you've lost them from the beginning.
Yeah.
So taking that moment to really connect to them where they're at. So if they're shy, helping them draw them out. If they are, loud, and, being able to play and engage with them. I just started with a brand new student, new to VIPKid, and he barely spoke. And now he just did his first unit assessment, and he's loud. Like his mom says, I can't believe that you got him talking. And it's because I allowed him to be quiet at first. And, and I would match his quietness. Oh, what did you say? And he'd yell it, and it's like, whoa, what did you say? And then he learned that he could engage and that I could meet him where he's at, and it was so much fun. So I think that's the most important quality, is first establishing that rapport.
Is he older or younger? Sorry.
He's 4.
Oh, okay. I have an older one that's really quiet, and I have to literally like come way up and listen, even though, do you do that too? You have your headphones on, so the volume's not coming from the computer, but you're like thinking it's going to
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think it's building that rapport, having patience, and knowing how to scaffold up and down. Not sticking to the slide, but using the slide as a teaching tool, but teaching the person, not the slide.
I'm getting there. I'm still like, I need to cover everything on this slide. So what are some of your goals?
That's such a big question.
I love setting goals.
So my goal is, I know I told you that I'm 16, I'm repeating that. And that's big because I was born in 1960 and I just had my birthday. So at some point I would like to not work quite as much. And so by establishing these different pillars to my work, and I think as much as I love VIPKid, I'd like to sleep a little bit more. And that's why I'm developing these other avenues of income, like the Outschool, like the Pampered Chef and the Osborne books. And I think my goal with VIPKid is to eventually drop that down to maybe 3 days a week and keep with the ones that are most important to me. I don't think I'll ever give that up until I'm just too old to do it. But developing financial independence so that even when I'm not working as much, there is a passive income stream coming in. So that's my financial goal. I think in terms of everything else, I'm kind of there, like, I'm developing the business, but in terms of building a life that I love, like everything I do, I can travel with, and with my son moving from park to park, it's just easy to gather, I don't bring all 10 carts of props. I bring a few simple ones, and, with Outschool, I bring what I need for that. And that's so easy to travel. So I feel like I've really created a lifestyle that I really love. And I just want to, my goal is to sleep in more.
Yeah. Okay, got it. One of the easiest things to travel with Mary, I know you've seen this, but little bonus tip for anybody. Get these. It's like a whiteboard, but it's just a paper and a document protector and a marker. Doesn't take up much room, and it's not heavy. So heavy suitcases are a no-no for airplanes. Oh, hey, Laura, thanks for coming. And the last question I have, I don't see any more in the chat, is favorite professional development or teaching resource?
Favorite, if you haven't seen Ed Nace's book, Loud and Clear, I think it's called. Is that what it's called? Have you read it, Kasie?
I bought it and downloaded it, and I haven't read it.
Okay. He has 2 books, and I think I read them fairly early on in my teaching career, and it really changed my perspective on teaching, from teaching the slide to teaching the student. It really helped me understand the best ways to word my feedback in terms of making it really personal. And I don't know, I think that's the best outside resource and professional development all tied together into one. So I'm plugging that one for Ed.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. And you make me want to read it. Putting the reasons behind it. I'm like, oh. Teacher Kelly said, good goal.
Sleep more.
I know Teacher Kelly once told me she was talking about Ed Nace's book, and he showed up on her YouTube channel once. So
oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. Okay, so just to recap really quick, and to say what's upcoming. Upcoming, actually, in an hour, I have another live going on that's going to have some different platforms. Because Mary, people keep emailing me saying, can you have someone from this company? Can you? And I have to be honest, guys, I am trying. I've been posting in all different groups trying to get you multiple platforms, but keep them coming. Keep letting me know what you'd like to see for those. There are some I've never heard of. Splash Learn is going to be on today. I've never heard of Splash Learn. And Magic Ears, Outschool, of course.
Have you heard about the new teaching platform that's getting established for South America? So I don't know if they were originally VIPKid teachers that are creating it or someone else, but someone that's familiar with this type of platform. But they're creating it for our time zone. I mean, north of, so we'll be able to teach during the day if you choose to do that. I don't think I will be adding that because I have enough with what I'm doing, but they've just taken 200 applicants. They haven't hired anyone yet, but it's in development. They have a Facebook group. And if you're interested, I would start liking their posts because you will get updates. So when they're ready to go, like they're getting close, but when they're ready to go, you can get in on the ground floor with them.
Do you remember what it's called?
Something like Step Up to Learning, or I will send you a link, Kasie, but it's exciting to see what they're developing.
Yeah, I would love to know. And Cambly was the other one that I forgot. So Splash Learn, Cambly, Magic Ears, Outschool, and then me with VIPKid, because that's the only one I work for.
And VIPKid, have you done VIPKid?
Someone has done VIPKid, but if anybody wants to come back on, I think it's great that even if, we have repeats, other people get a chance and I can put their referral links in too. So
when I first started with VIPKid about 6 months later, I was probably the 400th VIPKid teacher to sign on with them. And I just quickly, VIPKid took off for me. So I personally didn't want to balance 2 companies with the same time frame. I just didn't want to do that, and VIPKid just took off. So
if anyone wants to come on tomorrow at 3 Eastern, I have a live that's not full yet with different companies. So just let me know if anybody wants to pitch their company. Oh, thank you, Kelly. Kelly put Ed Nace's book.
Oh, good.
In the chat too. So great. So we have that live today after this and tomorrow. And then Mary's going to add the Pampered Chef party to the bottom, her launching party for Usborn. I think that's everything. And then watch the prop video coming soon so that you know.
I'm going to do that as soon as we finish here. I'll create that, and and we'll take care of that.
Great. I think that's everything. Mary, I could sit and chat with you forever. I just love hanging out with you and talking to you. So
You are so much fun. I really appreciate this opportunity. I was a little nervous, wasn't sure how it would go, but it has been so much fun. So thank you.
you're
I really
welcome.
appreciate that.
Thanks for coming on. And all right, everybody, thank you so much. Oh, we've got people in the, I love learning about other companies. Balancing schedules is tough. Yes, Rebecca, I agree. I haven't really done it, but I know from other teachers telling me about it. Rebecca, do you work for other companies too? Let me know if you do. We'll chat. And James said, I can't get on to VIPKid. I finally did apply, got accepted, but can't get back to their website.
You know,
No idea.
I still get their, I have an active contract. I just don't teach, but they have an app that came out that you had to download to now access the classroom. So I don't think they're doing it from the website anymore. You may want to check that out. I'm not 100%
Yeah.
sure that I know what I'm talking about, but
Yeah,
just
so James, maybe look into that, the website. So the Brick Girl said bye. I mean, the Meredith said bye, and the Brick Girl said they really enjoyed watching. So, all right,
thank
everybody.
you, everyone. I really appreciate you listening, and thank you, Kasie. It's been great.
Oh, thanks, Mary. It's been fun. I'll see you soon. Probably like in our chat in Messenger here in just a minute.
Yeah, exactly.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.